Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the Æther-Tech Wars. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master for this Pathfinder 2e campaign, and joining me around my virtual table tonight are Brandie, Brie, Delioth, Dyto, and John. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Aren't they great at that? Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with a word from our sponsor for tonight's campaign, XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely by blurring the background, removing it entirely, or even putting your favorite pictures as the background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral link in the chat and show descriptions. This week we are back with another episode of Magi Knight's Awakening. Our heroes are getting back to school finally after the long weekend of dealing with, a soccer match and everything that followed that. So there's a lot going on, including what all they discovered at the church recently. So we'll be back with that on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Now you can keep up to date on everything we do here on the network by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV, on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody, on Blue Sky as @Random Rhapsody, and on TikTok as Random Rhapsody_TV. And that's it for the announcements. So join us as we return to the broken world of Loroupa and journey with a group of Pathfinders who have unwittingly found themselves embroiled in the Æther-Tech Wars. And we're back. So if you've been watching this campaign for a while, you should know how we do our recaps. I offer up the Random Rhapsody coin, which is good for a free reroll during the session. If I get the coin, I have a handful of ways I can use it to make our heroes' lives as miserable as possible, so I'm always down to do the recaps myself. But as tradition goes, I should at least offer it up first. So, does anybody want to do the recap this week?
I shall do the recap this week.
Okay, then. Malachi, go ahead and tell us what happened last time on the Æther-Tech Wars.
All right. So last time, the whole party reunited, including Aeden, who had been off somewhere. Malachi had been on a bender for like 2 days. The party informed him that they'd fought a basilisk in the meantime and were being sent on another mission to Nomengrad. Falderall showed up to give more details about the mission. He chastised Malachi, who clearly hadn't changed much, and warned him not to show his weapon in Nomengrad. Malachi gave him the mechanical heart of the metalloid thing that they had fought, and then they said goodbye. We teleported to Port Suliard, right? Or is that the guy we met in the
Nope, you teleported to Port Souliard
yes,
first.
we teleported first, and then we got to Port Souliard, and we met our lizard folk handler. His name is Trinidad. We bought a bunch of upgrades for our weapons and armor and some magic items, and then we teleported to Nomengrad and met with a gnome named Cichlid, who told us that outsiders are watched very closely in Nomengrad. As we left, fair enough, we saw a group of 8 people following us, some gnomes, dwarves, humans, and a giant kin. We saw a child steal something and try to get away with it, and soft-hearted Draven and Aeden tried to intervene by causing a distraction, but the group following us noticed and called it out. We failed to talk ourselves out of it, and now we're in the shit, and we're probably fighting in the streets, like, right after we arrived. Like, instantly.
Yeah, that sounds about right for your group. Well, there you go, Malachi. There's the Random Rhapsody coin.
Thank you.
Don't forget to use it. It's only going to last the session.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Pathfinders. It has literally only been a handful of hours since your arrival in the Confederacy capital of Nomengrad. And like Malachi said, you've already attracted the attention of the local constabulary. You are all standing in the market district, a long collection of dwarven-made stone buildings with tents and market stalls set up along the edge of the busy street. Now, overhead, the large half-dome of the Morag mountain range provides shade from the harsh glare of the sun, whilst also cooling the area quite comfortably. The child you saw who had stolen that apple is nowhere to be seen, so your distraction tactic did indeed work as intended. As Malachi said, though, unfortunately, you could not convince the guards that you were innocent in your intent, and said group has converged upon Draven and Aeden. Their hands are on their weapons, and they are looking over each of you in turn, as though they are evaluating your threat level. It also doesn't help that those people who were following you since you left the Conclave building are trying to stir things up by calling out and identifying you as Conclave members who are clearly trying to disturb the peace. Which is where we find ourselves now. Draven and Aeden, you're standing next to that fallen market stall while Malachi and Kikiro are a little ways away in the middle of the street. And Maiko, well, Maiko is currently hiding in Draven's backpack in her dark fox form. So, with that in mind, Pathfinders, what do you all want to do?
Well, okay, you guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Hopefully my headset will keep working throughout. It's saying I need to restart my computer to finish updating it, but we'll try, see how we go. Anyway, aside from that, so Maiko, being in Draven's backpack, kind of watching things going on, sees these guards converging and yelling at him. So she is going to kind of wiggle her way out of the backpack, jump out. As she's jumping out, she is going to transform back into humanoid form and be like, whoa, 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 guys. This is just a whole misunderstanding here. Draven, she looks at Draven. What have I told you, you oaf? He can't control himself, guys. I am so sorry. I am sure this was just a complete misunderstanding. He bumps into things all the time. Let's just help him clean it up and then we'll move on. Being, hostile. Let's just move on. We don't want any trouble.
It's true. I'm more than happy to assist with cleaning up. It was my mistake, and I do apologize.
Okay, well, it sounds to me, Maiko, that you're trying to influence this guard here.
Well, yes, this guard and other. I have a group coercion. Let me see if I can pop this up. Hold on. How do I pop this up in the thing for you to see?
I think that's a good question, actually.
Let me see. Did that work? No. Well,
Yeah, just go ahead and tell us about it. Can't hear you. Did we? Oh, I heard you for a
It
second.
was in and then it was out.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, this is probably going to happen the whole time because of this stupid thing. Anyway, but I have group coercion. I can strong arm people effectively even when I don't have them isolated. When I coerce, I can compare my intimidation check result to the will DCs of up to 5 targets instead of 1.
Okay. Oh, and
there it is. There it goes. It popped up.
So the way you pop it up is there's that little book on the left side. If you hover your mouse over it, it comes up to a text bubble. You click on that, and that's what pops it in the chat.
Okay. I think I might have drag and dropped it before. I don't know. I somehow got it to work. But anyway. So
Okay.
then I need to... Oh my gosh.
So you're able to make a coerce check against, looks like, up to 5 targets instead of once. Well, there's 4 of them right there. So, first off, why don't you go ahead and give me a performance check? This is you climbing out of that backpack and kind of trying to get the element of surprise on them.
Will do, or at least I will... Oh my god. My computer's being dumb, so... Alright. Do I get any kind of circumstance bonus?
Well, this is going to see if you're getting a circumstance bonus from when you try to coerce them.
Hey, not
15?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. You suddenly jumping out of Draven's backpack and appearing there right in front of them catches them all off guard, and then they hear everything that you're saying. Give me your coercion check against these 4 guards. I'm going to have to roll it against each one. And you're going up against their will DC.
And I get a +1, yes?
You do get a +1 to each of them because of the... of doing that the performance check.
Okay, should I keep it public or?
Yeah, you can keep it public.
Nice, there's a nat 20.
Nice.
Group coercion is just 1 check against all of them.
Oh, is it? I thought it said in the thing that it was against each one.
When you coerce, you can compare your intimidation check.
Against the will
against the will
okay,
DCs
I
of all
see
of
it.
them.
Okay, I see it.
Mhm.
Oh, should I have only done it the one time?
Probably, yeah.
Can I have that nat 20?
Should average them all out.
I'm
Like,
just
this
impressed
is
they're all
the
above
single-
10.
Yeah, I was expecting some chaos.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take... Well, I'm not going to take the nat 20, sorry, but I will take the last one you rolled and just use that one as the basis for this whole thing.
You're no fun.
I know, I'm so horrible.
The average.
Yeah, that is really the average there amongst the 4s,
Yep.
so...
Technically, the average would be 18, if it matters. I was just curious after I said it. The 16 is good.
Oh.
I hope.
As long as it gets us out of trouble, then it's good.
If it works, it's good.
Mhm. Let's see here. So, the lead 2, upon hearing everything that you've said, Maiko, kind of shift eyes back and forth amongst themselves and look at you and say, well, I guess, yeah, I suppose, if you're going to be disrupting business like this, at the very least, you should be over here helping them put it back together. Maybe a little extra money for the inconvenience to this nice young woman over here. As he's saying this, the woman behind the stall comes up and is like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, they should be paying me for this and get everything back to the way it was. How dare you knock down my stall, even if it was an accident or whatever it is you're saying." The two behind, however, the two guards behind him step up and say, "Nah, boss, come on. Obviously they're doing that on purpose. This is bullshit. They're lying. They're absolutely lying." You managed to convince 2 out of 4 of them, Maiko, but you managed to persuade this guard captain here, this orc who seems much older than the other 3, and he's saying, "You know what? You two go look for that kid. See if you can find them in the crowd. We'll stay here and we'll supervise this big low oaf and these idiots as they help this poor lady out. You, big one, start pushing up that tent right now."
Aye, Captain.
And Maiko's gonna be picking, stuff up too, like picking up, like some of the. It was fruits, yes. It was like
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. Maiko's gonna be starting to pick up some fruits and everything, and kind of piling them up just to show, look, hey, we don't want trouble. We'll make this right. All the time, kind of lightly how do you say it? Chastising?
Yeah, chastising.
Yes, that. Do that to Draven, You need to learn to watch those arms, man.
You don't know how big you really are.
Spatial awareness is a thing,
I want to look at Kikiro and just be like, so crisis averted, right?
Hell yeah.
They're distracted. Quick attack.
No, I want to look around and see if any of these stalls is selling coffee. This morning, right?
Yeah, it is morning time.
Yeah, I was going to say I was looking for a beer, but I got to have some standards, Faldrol told me. So I was just on a bender, so I need some coffee.
Give me a perception check to see if you can find some coffee being sold here in one of these stalls.
Okay. Let me get to my right page. Oh yeah, there it is. 16.
Yeah, I would say that with your 16, you glance around and a little bit between a couple market stalls, you see that there's a little cafe set up. It's mostly just a couple tents with some people sitting on the outside of it around on the ground with a little bit of a small table in between them. But you can definitely smell that enticing aroma of coffee coming from them.
At Kikiro, and I go, I'll be right back. And then I wander off. You let me know how this turns out, all right? If you need help, just holler.
I'm just going to continue observing this from a distance.
Yeah, I'm definitely not cleaning anything up.
Yeah, so Kikiro, you just kind of blending into the crowd? Are you pretending to look at a market stall or anything like that? Or how are you observing?
I'm trying to kind of blend into the crowd and keep tabs on both my allies and also maybe, if possible, the guards that were going to follow the child.
Okay.
I don't know if they get out of view quickly or not, but
yeah, I feel like that would definitely be a perception check as well.
Wow.
Oh.
It's good enough.
I see everything.
Yeah, Kikiro, you head over to one market stall that's in just perfect line of sight of both of the pathways leading through this area. You kind of post up at one end and pretend to look at like a little woven basket or something. But really, your keen eyes are looking down that pathway where the child had gone. And you do see the two of the guards, the halfling and the human, start making their way to the north. They kind of rush ahead about a good 50 or so feet before stopping and starting to look between the stalls, which of course starts causing a bit of a commotion, because what shopkeeper wants a guard to go searching through their stalls? And so there's a little bit of an uproar that's kind of making its way farther north, which allows you to kind of keep tabs on the direction that they're going, and allows you to see that for the next 15 or so minutes, as Draven and Maiko and start helping to put the stall back together. Aeden, we haven't heard from you yet. What are you doing during all this?
I'm trying to help clean up, but I can only reach so high. So it's like, I'll pick something up off the ground and hand it to Draven.
So you're down there picking up fruit, passing it up to Draven to put back onto the shop stall itself. Draven, you're having to push up the big posts and connect it to the tent itself, which is slightly ripped from you pushing it over. And the woman is kind of yelling at you a little bit and pointing to it and telling the veteran guard, this is damage and this is damage. This is going to cost me so much. In the end, the guard tells you, the three of you, that he's going to need you to pay this woman 20 gold in damages and lost property.
20?
Damn, I was gonna toss her a couple gold, but fuck, I can't give her 20.
I mean, it's fine. If somebody can give me 2, I got it.
I can give you 10.
you 2.
No, I got it. I mean, it'll take all my money, but I don't need money.
I mean, I did
Draven.
help you knock it over. So I will do half.
All right, I'll do the other half then.
Okay, so each of you take 10 gold off of your character sheet. You pass it over to the woman, who cradles it to her chest, and you can see a big smile on her face as she accepts this money. The veteran guard finally sees that she's satisfied, and the stall is put back together, and he gets really close to you, Draven, and he says, getting his face right in yours, "I better not find you disrupting any more businesses.
Oh, of course.
One more time, and you and all your friends will be spending the night in prison. Do you hear me?"
What will we doing there? Like slumber party? No?
You'll be in prison! No, it's not a slumber party!
Okay, I don't know. I've never been to prison before. I don't know what it's like here, but thank you for the warning. I will be on my best behavior. You can believe that, sir. Thank you for all you do. You're a credit to your kingdom.
Kinda. Give me a diplomacy check.
Alright.
Oh, because that went so well last time.
I pat him a little too hard.
You pat him a little too hard, and he kind of stumbles back and growls at you. You better... And then he turns to Maiko and says, "You better keep this oaf on a leash."
Oh.
Yes. And I'll be like, come on, Draven, let's go. We're good here, right? And I'm gonna just kind of start walking away.
Do they not see the leash?
Clearly not.
Okay.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, they're gonna watch you make your start walking away from them. Malachi, you spent the last 20 minutes just having some really nice coffee.
Is the coffee as impressive as the technological wonders?
Actually, yeah, it is. A cup of coffee costs you 2 copper pieces, so you can take that off your character sheet. You're able to see inside the tent. There is this weird sort of mechanical construction. It's all like glass tubes, all going in various ways and spirals, and then there's like little beakers that have fires underneath it and it percolating to make this coffee. Like it's very steampunk.
Well, I'll tell the barista as such that, you know, I've heard such wonderful things about the technological advancements here, and that the coffee rivals it.
Yeah, she kind of smiles at that and says, "Oh yes, absolutely. The wonders in this world, in this city, are just unmatched anywhere in the world. Our scientists are the best anywhere in Loroupa."
A little bit too complimentary, but I'm gonna buy another coffee to go.
Okay. Yeah, you will absolutely get a coffee to go in a little wooden mug that has a kind of lid on it.
And then
I was about to ask, they have to go cups?
Yeah, I needed to go. I gotta bring this to my friend. Well, we're in the open market, so you know,
This is fair.
people gotta be walking around.
Oh,
Oh yeah, so I sat there for like 15 minutes sipping my coffee and having conversation, and then I get that one to go, and I come back when they're about finished cleaning up.
Absolutely.
I think Maiko's gonna shift back into fox form and scurry back up into Draven's backpack and nestle back out in.
I want to bring the to-go coffee to Draven.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you working hard?
I mean, that teleportation got me a little fucked up, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you're not being as wise as you usually are. Rookie mistake, that's all I'm saying.
Listen, I'm always going to follow the rules, except for that very one specific instance, and it just happened to happen.
Well,
I can't
be careful, you're gonna turn out like me.
Oh. Takes coffee, starts sipping.
Nice.
Absolutely.
All right. Does anybody remember where we're going? Because I'm gonna be honest, I totally forgot. The second we stepped out of teleportation, I was like, why am I even here? All right, it happened to everybody.
Yes, we
Are we leaving
Castle, maybe?
somebody?
are here for that reason. That we're doing that thing.
Yeah, we're doing it. Y'all are ones got the mission. I was drunk at the time.
I think we have a meeting with the leaders.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a letter or something of invitation.
Oh yeah, weren't we kind of doing like a scouting type mission? We're like seeing something, what they're planning or what they're getting prepared for, or something like that. It's some sort of scouting mission.
Everybody digs through their pockets looking for a letter of introduction. I'm like, I got that.
Yeah, you all kind of pat your stuff and your bags. There is a letter of introduction from the Erudite Conclave. They identify you as field researchers here to just kind of take in the sights of the castle and to learn. What was the word I was looking for? Oh God, I had a word and I blanked on it. Don't you hate that? But anyway, your mission here is to go check out the military and see what they're up to. See if there's any more of these construct experiments going on and things like that. You are given a letter of introduction identifying you as field researchers here to just check out the castle and the grounds and to meet the minister and just establish more good relations between the Conclave and Nomengrad.
Good relations.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we better get cleaned up as best we can. Nothing beats a first impression. Let's go, boys.
Okay, so what's the
Following.
plan? Where are you going?
Yeah, sounds like we're going to the castle, right? Is that where we're going to meet so and so? The minister?
The minister, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that the Castle Strong?
Yeah, Castle Strongwaddle is the castle, in fact. You're going to have to ask around a little bit to find out where it is in the city, but it's not difficult to find. It's actually in the center of town. You ask around, get some directions, and you follow the main road of the city here, which eventually does turn north and lead to a very new-looking castle. In fact, so new that as you're standing outside its gates, just gazing up towards it, you notice that there are still, like, the construction rafters and scaffolding around about a third of the of one of the towers on one side of the castle. The architecture is impressive, but it almost looks as though it were once a cathedral that had been partially demolished and rebuilt to make it look more like a fortress than anything else. The lower half of the architecture is definitely of dwarven make. It's completely made out of stone. There's lots of columns and archways and just impressive features that are very typical within dwarven architecture. But the third level going up, it's almost like a very odd sort of amalgamation of construction techniques, and it just gives it a very bizarre appearance. Towers are like built out in angles and in places that you wouldn't really expect them to be, and it honestly looks like, well, you know the expression "a hat on a hat."
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what this looks like just two things on top of one another.
Those brick houses that have the second story added and it's all siding.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what you're seeing here. It is surrounded by a pretty impressive stone wall as well, and there is very large wrought iron work gates that are open and allow people to come in and out of the place. But there are also guards that are stationed on either side of the open gate that does challenge people as they approach and speak to them for a couple moments, ask them why they're here, before allowing them to pass. Now, as you're examining this, Draven, give me what is it in this game? A religion check?
Sure. I have that. $14.
As you're examining the lower half of the architecture, you do notice that, there are signs of religious motif kind of mixed in the construction. Like, you can see in places that something's absent, as though something was removed. But in other areas where they're still doing construction, you can very clearly see the sunburst of Balrus, the father. As you kind of examine and look over the architecture, while this building is not something you've seen before, you kind of get the vibe that it used to be a church or a cathedral before it got repurposed into what it is now.
And if they're looking to get cursed, this is one good way to do that. So,
Oh, come now. Don't be superstitious.
I'm not being superstitious. Have you seen what the gods can do sometimes? It's terrifying. I wouldn't want to do that. Jeez.
Malachi shrugs. Alright, who's got that letter? maybe somebody other than Draven should do the talking this time.
Sad,
no
my
disrespect.
+7 diplomacy still can't roll higher than.
I can talk.
No, Aiden, you neither. All right, don't act like you're innocent.
The sad thing is, like, so I only have a +2 diplomacy. I think Draven has the
I have a +3. He does have the best diplomacy.
I
but-
do. I just can't roll for shit. So.
Draven, if you want to try to redeem yourself, maybe that coffee just kicked your butt into gear.
Yes, let me see what I can do. This, I think it is. It
Are
is
you sure? Because
helping.
I don't mind. I don't mind doing it if you feel like you're not ready.
I'm wonderful with people. You have nothing to worry about. But if I start
That's
to
exactly
stumble,
what I am worried about.
no, don't worry. If I start to stumble, I trust you to step in and fix everything. You're good with your
Alright.
words, right?
I'm good at lying.
I
So-
feel like in a situation like this, that is probably better. But
All right. I'll make sure Draven has the letter.
Absolutely. Well, Draven, with the letter in hand, you lead the way towards the open gates. The two individuals who are standing guard right now is a human and a dwarf, but you can also see a third guard, a gnome woman, is standing in just to the other side of the wall itself. She seems to be going over, looking through a book and just kind of observing and writing stuff down. But it's the human guard that actually holds out a hand as you all approach. Halt! Halt! Identify yourself. Why are you here?
yes, I believe we are here from the conclave, and I'll hold up the letter. We were told to come and meet with these people, so here we are.
The guard takes the letter, opens it up, looks it over. Sergeant, you want to take a look at this? The gnome woman who is writing in the book looks up and comes heading over to to see what's going on. Takes the letter from the human's hand, looks it over real good. Well, this seems legit. Okay, I wasn't aware that any conclave members would be arriving today. You'd better come
Problem
with
your
me.
command.
Of course.
What's that?
I said, sounds like a problem with your command.
The gnome woman looks at you and scowls. What's that supposed to mean?
I just mean communication breakdown.
If there is a communication breakdown, it's probably from the conclave side of things.
Tell me about it.
Well, fine, you better follow me. I'm not sure what the minister is up to right now, but I can at least
okay.
take you in and get you settled while you wait.
Well, we do appreciate your hospitality, and we don't mind waiting. It's been a long trip.
The gnome woman looks to the guards and orders them to remain and continue with their tasks, and she kind of snaps her fingers and instructs you all to follow her inside. You pass the large open gates and into a very wide area of a courtyard that lies between the castle itself and the wall. Over to the north, what is that? The northwest. You can see that there's several groups of soldiers currently doing military exercises, and the third is kind of marching along in just a typical military formation, marching along the castle grounds, calling out, a cadence as they go by. You can also see that one of the groups of guards or soldiers that are currently parading about the grounds is riding in a very odd-looking, well, it's a mechanical suit, would be the best way I could describe it. You can see as it passes that there's a gnome inside of it. The thing is bipedal. It has 2 legs, it has 2 arms, but the entire construction of it is of a very similar, well, not similar, but kind of similar design that you've seen before. It's all made of copper and iron and brass. There's hydraulics that are kind of sticking out, allowing the thing to move. It actually looks like about a 12-foot tall gorilla that doesn't have a head on it. Instead, it's just an open cockpit where this gnome is sitting and manipulating controls. It's kind of has strapped into a harness and is walking along next to this parade of soldiers. The thing is, like I said,
Oh, I want one.
How I get this?
Too much power for Aeden. No.
But Aiden would be big size.
The machine, as it moves, it moves jerkily and slowly. It's kind of a and the ground beneath your feet kind of rattles a little bit. The floor beneath your feet is stone. It's a stone pathway that's been chiseled and crafted quite nicely, like it's been sculpted in typical dwarven architecture. This thing moving your feet, it rattles a little bit with every step. You all kind of pause, mouth agape a little bit as this thing passes in front of you. And the gnome sergeant looks at all of you with just the expression on your face, and she says, "Impressive, isn't it? Is this the first time you conclave types have seen our technology?"
Oh yeah. First time.
This is
Yeah, it's
quite
real cool.
impressive.
Really impressive.
I've never seen a person in a mechanical thing like that, no?
Never
Really
seen a
haven't,
mechanical
actually.
thing like that ever.
We have the best scientists in all of Loroupa working here in Nomengrad. We may be a new country, but we are becoming the technological marvel of the whole world.
I'm sure you guys are proud. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about it since we arrived.
Well, no doubt that's why the Conclave sent you all here to observe what all we're working on, and we've got nothing to hide. Our military strength is something to be proud of. As you're getting closer to the castle, you can see some more of these soldiers as they're moving about, and they definitely look different from your typical average soldier. Well, now, Malachi, being from Coltrast, you're familiar with some of the firearms that Falderal has been working with the military to begin learning how to use. And the way they've marched kind of is very similar to what you're seeing here. You don't see firearms per se. Instead, each soldier seems to be carrying a staff, a long, either metallic or wooden cylinder that goes from about it almost looks like, you ever seen military, how they walk with their rifles against their arm and their shoulder as they're walking? Same thing, but it's actually long staves that they're holding against themselves. You also notice that each person in the army seems to be carrying at least 1 to 2 wands hanging from their belt.
They don't have guns, but they do have wands.
I have a wand.
Indeed.
I have a wand.
I feel like we maybe acquired those in this type of fashion.
Are you saying that like just on the DL?
Well, I imagine we're like walking by each other, they're showing us stuff, and then I kind of whisper over.
Yeah. Just give me a stealth check real quick.
Of course. 10. Why do I get armor check penalty to it? It doesn't make sense. Can't whisper.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with whispering, so we're gonna ignore that penalty, but it's still an 11.
But yeah, I say, yeah, I think we acquired that in a similar fashion.
Oh, really? You are... What do you mean there? The gnome woman asks.
I mean military service.
Oh, are you members of a military? I thought you were a conclave field researcher.
Well, where I came from sure felt like a military. I'll look off into the distance wistfully.
Is it because you have so many siblings?
That's part of it for sure.
Make
I feel like I just play it off. Like I'm like, it's like nothing serious.
Yeah, give me a deception check.
Okay. You can do it. Oh, yeah, see.
28. Chillest guy around.
Are those rolls for me?
The gnome's kind of chuckles and says, big family, huh? Yeah. I get that. My mother, I'm actually the eldest of 8.
Of 8? God damn. I think I did put that I have 6. I think I have 6 siblings. So,
yep.
Yeah, you got me beat by 1 there.
Oh, wow.
But I'm the youngest, so.
I bet you always get your way, don't you? You must have your mommy wrapped around your little finger.
She ain't the only one.
Go ahead.
I was like, I almost imagine Malachi be like, no, not at all, and like, just kind of looking away, like,
I'm not humble. Of course I do.
You eventually are led inside Castle Strongwaddle, which opens up to a very, very wide open cathedral. Much like a temple, which is exactly what this used to be, a temple of Balrus. Draven, you can see the symbology quite clearly, even though some of it has been removed, and there's even like workmen currently like chiseling away at some of the Balrus symbology that's in the stonework, like stonework columns and things like that. But it's definitely still there, and it's still present. You can even see a pedestal towards the back of this cathedral. It's very large, round. It looks like where a statue of Balrus would normally be if you were in a Church of the Five church. The difference between that is that the statue's gone. In its place, you can see 2 thrones that have been placed on there instead, on the dais. It seems as though that the king and queen, or whoever it is that runs this country, they've placed themselves where a god used to be. And it's very you very immediately see this, Draven.
Yes, that's very interesting architecture. Your choices are, yes. He does not know how to feel. He is, oh yeah, it is very much the blasphemy, but he's like, no, we're here for the job. I already screwed up once. We're not doing it again, but, ooh.
I feel like Malachi thinks it's funny.
He would.
I feel like it's funny.
Yeah, that's true. You are familiar with Balrus, especially Malachi, given the fact that your grandfather was a devout follower. So you would absolutely see the same symbolisms and see everything that's going on here too.
I remember going to church when I was a little kid, and I was like, "This sucks." So now I'm like, "Nice. I like what you've done with the place."
Oh well, thank you. Yeah, it's been quite a bit of work getting all of this done since the breaking, but we've been at it for quite some time now, and we're happy with the results.
I hope that the waiting room is as nice as this throne room.
Well, no, not really, but let's go ahead and put you over here. And you're led into a room that was at one point a bit of a vestibule, but has been converted into just a comfortable sitting room with some very large chairs, some gnome-sized couches and some larger-sized wooden chairs that just kind of line the walls. There is some tapestry here, one depicting the separation of two sides of a mountain that's opening almost like a coconut cut in half and spreading to reveal a city underneath. There's one of those. There's one of a gnome woman standing in full plate armor with a bright blazing sword in her hand, standing on top of what appears to be a lot of dwarves and orcs, just all piled up in a big old pile, as though she personally defeated this whole group.
Draven's gonna turn to Malachi. I believe there's a phrase that the kids used to do at the orphanage. What is it? I believe she is compensating for something.
Oh my god. Thank you for saying something. I was like, these people got so much to prove. Like, it's something. Obviously when we're alone.
Did I use that correctly?
No, it sounds right to me.
Yes.
Yeah, you were left alone here. You were told to just wait here, and she will go and find out if the minister is expecting you.
Yeah, I was like, this is a young nation, and they're like, we got the best, this, and it's like, okay. You want to hang with the big dogs, we get it.
I know that I am the cool laid-back guy, but this place is giving me the heebie-jeebies. I'm not a fan. This is a dark place. I don't think I like it here.
What, you upset with all the heresy, all the blaspheming?
I mean, yes, are you not?
I just feel like Balrus is kind of a guy who likes to party.
Oh. That is not at all what we were taught. Oh, no.
I don't know. I feel like maybe you'd like it.
Draven's just gonna start pacing now.
He's just like, what?
Aiden is just being like dragged back and forth.
Yeah. I've got one in my backpack, the other one on a leash, just following behind.
Well, maybe it'd make you feel better to confess some sins right here in this holy sacred place. Get everything off your chest.
So, is there anything in this room that catches Maiko's eye?
Oh,
Maiko?
God.
I will backhand you.
Give me a perception check, Maiko. You are still in your fox form. Your head's peeking out of Draven's backpack right now. So like Draven's pacing around back and forth, and they're all talking amongst themselves.
Oh. 25?
Yeah, actually, in one corner of the room, there is this little table that has a small statue about maybe a foot tall in length. It's made out of silver. It's very highly polished. It appears to be the same. It's a carving of this, or not carving, but a molding of the same gnome woman in the armor. It looks to be quite valuable, worth at least, say, probably 150 gold pieces.
Do I see this damn fox?
No, you just see the head poking out of the backpack.
I see her looking.
Oh yeah, you see the head poking out of the backpack, but that's about it.
Hey, Maiko, what's up?
Approximately how far away from the statue am I right now?
Well, I mean, Draven's pacing back and forth the length of the room. So if you were to wait patiently enough, there's going to be a point when Draven just walks by it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Wait, you're gonna try to, hold on. You're gonna try to steal in fox form. I want to see this.
I bet they're recording this whole conversation anyway.
Absolutely.
With
But at least
what?
they
Do
would
they have
hear it.
cameras?
They got hella
They-
technology,
I
probably.
was gonna say they've got
Are cameras a thing?
But even so, all we've said is like, oh my god, these people shoving it down their throats. We get it.
Yeah, so yeah, when he gets close by, I think I'm gonna reach out with my little fox paws and try to grab onto that statue and just drag it into the backpack with me.
You will never learn.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, it's going to be a few moments before you're going to have your opportunity to do this.
Also,
Yeah.
if somebody walks in beforehand, obviously I'm not going to.
Yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. Kikiro, what are you up to during all of this?
I think I'm also taking a survey of the room, seeing if I can suss anything. Because you said the monarchs are actually on their thrones.
No, they weren't on the thrones. They just you could see the thrones.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So I'm surveying the room, seeing if
Okay.
I can see anything interesting. I don't think Kikiro's probably ever been in a church. It's 50-50.
No, that's completely up to you whether or not they have. So you're looking over the room. That's just going to be a perception check.
.22 is probably nothing.
What'd you get?
22.
22. Okay. You're just kind of investigating the area, moving about slowly, looking over all of the various things. You kind of peek back behind the tapestries, look over the walls, and you do notice, actually, that there's a couple oddities. Behind the curtains, actually, there are very small holes in the stone. It's cylindrical. You can't really see. You kind of see it at an angle, and it's just dark behind. So you can't see anything inside it itself. But you do see two holes that are about 3 feet from off of the floor, so it's low. You're about 5 foot, so you kind of look down and you see them. But it's two perfect. You could say they're probably eye holes, right there, about 3 feet off the ground. The second thing you notice is in one corner, there is there's a brass bit of tubing that is just kind of stuck out from the wall in the corner. It's beveled outward, like you know how a trumpet it kind of spreads outward. It kind of looks like a small version of that, just sticking out from the wall and close to the ceiling in one corner. Also, with that 22, you would find that behind the other tapestry, there is a small seal that's in a rectangular shape, about 5 foot tall and 2 feet wide. A hidden door that is closed, but you see the seam along it, and you can tell that it is there.
Okay, this is good. I feel like we're being watched. I would like to quietly try and tell my friends, at least one of them, that we might be being watched. Maybe subtly point out the where there's eye holes.
Okay. You can either roll a stealth check, or you can roll a performance check to try to do this in a subtle or quiet way.
Those are both the same for me, so we're gonna go with a.
Fair enough.
That's the worst I could possibly do. I point directly at those holes.
Mm-hmm. You point directly at those holes.
Make eye contact.
Hey, guys, I think there are eye holes there. Wait, I whispered that, right?
I think we're being watched. Makes eye contact with the holes.
Mm-hmm.
Malachi looks at it. He goes, huh. Seems so. Well, I hope they aren't too offended. I just feel like that maybe they could lay off with the sales pitch a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Out of all the choices, Malachi is double down.
It's just some light criticism.
And Maiko, hearing that they're being watched, kind of lets out a bit of a sigh. And just kind of puts her head back in the backpack, kind of dejected, because she's.
I feel like everyone
if she feels like she's gonna be caught, she's not gonna do it.
Yeah. You're thinking about it. Like Draven was kind of getting close. You're starting to push your little fox paws out. Then you hear what Kikiro says, and like, nope, just back in again.
I think like a little tear just comes, trails down her cheek.
How long are we waiting in here?
Well, I was getting ready to tell you that it's been about an hour that you've all been sitting here waiting.
I smoke a cigarette.
I was about to say, if it's that long, but I think at some point Draven has sat down on the gnome-sized couch and just like...
So yeah, you're just sitting awkwardly.
Dripping sweat.
I just remembered Aeden's being forced to pace back and forth. I can only imagine, Matt, it's like me and you when we're walking. You're walking at a normal pace, and I'm just about running to keep up with you. Only Aeden's probably literally running to keep up with Draven.
But the thing is that Aeden has wings and can fly. She just hasn't.
So your wings would get tired at some point.
Probably.
Oh no, because if she just kind of gently flaps, just hovers, he can just drag her along. there's no resistance with friction resistance.
But yeah, I definitely smoke a cigarette. There's no way I can sit here for an hour.
That's fair. The room is closed, and
I'm sorry, y'all. It has to happen. This is a sacrifice so that I'm not insufferable.
I mean, there's eye holes.
Go blow into some. Go blow into some of the eye.
Oh yeah, maybe those are ashtrays.
Yeah, I don't know why you assume that they're eye holes that somebody's watching us through, and it might just be air ventilation. I blow into it.
So you lift up the tapestry, blow the smoke into the holes, and then drop it down again.
Yeah, as like a goof, because it makes everybody laugh. So
yeah,
if
absolutely.
it makes me smile, I'll do it.
I can imagine putting the lit bud in there and like accidentally shoving in somebody's eye.
Nah, I wouldn't be so rude.
Okay.
Well, some honey. Anybody want some honey?
I'm good, sis.
No, I'm good, thank you.
How crusty is that jar of honey?
Hey, this honey is good. I've been using a honey spoon.
Putting the lid
Things
right
have
back on.
changed since Aiden came back from her trip to the mountains.
And you know what we call that?
Now she's a honey connoisseur. Character development.
Yeah, probably. But so yeah, it's been about an hour. You've just been sitting there, eventually finding yourselves going to sit in some chairs, waiting. Nobody comes. It's been frustratingly silent. Do you do anything, or are you?
Loud.
You said you're starting to read your porn out loud.
Yeah, the beards entwined. I'll just go start
Is
reading
that
out
some-
loud.
wait. Is that illegal in this country?
Huh?
Do I know?
What should I roll society to see if I would know?
Sure, go for it. Roll a society
maybe
check.
Maybe they're real chaste.
12.
Yeah,
I try.
maybe.
We'll find out.
Can I try? I don't have a good roll. It's +0.
Mine was a +9.
Are you trained in it?
Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah, you would have no idea.
Well, guess can't control everybody. We've waited longer in places before, have we not? I feel like we've been caught in bureaucracy.
The mayor's done this to us a few times. So.
Yeah, I feel like I'm becoming a more patient man, and as long as nobody comes in here and says, "Hey, you can't smoke in here," I think I'll get by just fine.
Okay. Well, we're gonna speed up a little bit. Another 2 hours go by, and still nobody has come. Nobody's even opened the door to check on you all.
Well, you guys, I think I found where we are staying tonight. I hope we're all comfortable. I got the couch.
I want to get up and look through the eye holes, see if I see anything on the other side.
It is pitch black. Give me a perception check.
All right. Got that low light vision, 17.
Kind of, you put your eyes against it and look around. You can see, there is a little bit of light coming from somewhere distant past your field of vision. And you can see that there is a room on the other side of this. You can see the outline of something that your guess would probably be a low chair and a table. You don't see any movement or anything like that. And you put your ear up to it and listen a little bit. You don't hear any sounds coming from the other side.
I wanna, in a very hushed voice, say, kind of feels like a trap. Like they want us to do something so they can catch us.
I mean, of course, I thought that was obvious.
Well, thanks,
That's why we're
Draven.
sleeping here tonight.
Yeah.
All right. God damn it.
Although,
It
Kikiro,
is-
did you point out the sound tube as well, or just the eye holes?
Yes. I'd probably point out the sound too.
Okay.
And there was a door,
That
was
Yeah. I think Draven wants to go up to the tube and just. I don't know if anybody is listening in, but if so, could we get some water in here? I don't mean to be an inconvenience, but it is a little dry and I'm getting a little thirsty. Thank you.
Yeah, it's up in the ceiling, so you kind of walk over to the corner and say this up towards the thing. Not sure if anybody's listening or not. You assume somebody's listening.
Yeah.
You all just remain as you are.
I want to check and see if the door we came in is locked or if it's unlocked.
Okay. You can go over and check out the door. It is not locked.
So we're not trapped.
Oh, that's dangerous.
They are begging us to do something incorrect.
But what if I just open the door and leave? Like out the front door. I'm not trying to sneak around. I'm just trying to leave and go get a hotel for the night.
like the idea, but maybe is there somebody outside you can talk to? Perhaps if you at least like
I open the door.
them.
You open the door and you can see that there is a pair of gentlemen standing at either side of it. They are
Hi.
dressed in the same military uniforms as you had seen the people outside, which is a leather tunic dyed in green. It's a dark forest green. It's trimmed in blue. And they both have the same wands on their side. Each has 2 wands. Each of them are holding a staff that is down on the ground, touching the ground, and they're just kind of holding it there. And when you open up the door, both of them turn and look at you. One is a human, one is a halfling. They both look at you at the same time, and the halfling says, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, my friend here's getting real thirsty. We've been waiting for about 3 hours.
Well, yes, you must understand that the minister is a very busy individual.
I ain't complaining. I'm just saying we're kind of getting thirsty.
Okay.
Any chance we could get a drink?
Make for me a diplomacy check.
All right. 13.
We will let somebody know of your request.
All right. I close the door slowly, and then I turn around and go, "Yeah, there's some guys out there."
Would they like some honey in these trying times?
I don't think you should ask them that. They seem kind of busy.
They're just standing there.
Yeah, that's work, honey. That's work.
What do we want to do while we wait? We could play Never Have I Ever.
Oh boy.
What's
All right, Draven, you go first.
I
Was this 5 fingers?
was going to say, Draven's never done anything.
So, well, then it should be an easy game for you.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you all just start chatting with one another, playing games. Never have I ever, I guess. Why not? And another hour goes by. By this point, your stomachs are beginning to rumble a little bit. You're starting to get hungry. It is a little past midday at this point, and still nobody's shown up to bring refreshment or anything like that. You have like water skins on you and rations and stuff like that, so you can feed yourselves if you want, or drink or whatever. But no doubt it's starting to become frustrating that you haven't actually been interacted with at all since arriving here. What do you all do?
Are we committing to the sleeping here?
I start using the leash as a jump rope.
I mean,
I feel like it would be funny.
I mean, honestly, that's what they ask us to do. I'm
Yeah, well, they
trying
want us
to
to
be
wait.
good. Exactly.
I feel like
Yes.
he gives us a lot of leeway in negotiations if we just stick it out.
I agree. I think, like, while our other option, which of course is leaving and finding a hotel, I look around. While that's a good option, I do think we should stick it out and just, we really gotta see this guy. So
I mean, this place is free. A hotel you'd have to pay for.
that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Pay for it in a number of ways. But let's just chill. I sit down. I feel like I put my hat over my face and take a nap.
Maiko's already curled up sleeping in the backpack.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Another hour goes by. And there's got to be some level of frustration in everybody as you've had to wait this long. But the door opens, and you see another individual step inside. This is a human man. He's wearing the same military uniform that you've seen on most of these soldiers so far. However, you notice that this individual has some ribbons and medals on his coat. He seems to have some insignia of rank on his shoulders as well. This individual, like I said, he is human. His hair is dark gray, salt and pepper of a goatee around his lips and chin. He has dark blue eyes and a very sour expression on his face as he steps into the room. He surveys your group. You've all kind of spread out among about the room at this point. Aeden is still jumping rope using the leash. Draven is kind of sprawled a little bit on the gnome couch. You're all just kind of spread out, and this painfully obvious military man looks at all of you and just kind of makes a sound of disgust.
Oh,
He's
tight.
He just looks at you and gives you a what look.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that you sneezed, and I thought that is that not the socially acceptable thing. I'm sorry. I'm not good at this.
A little bit of culture shock, huh?
You are all field researchers from the Conclave. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
My name is General Glorian. I've been instructed to escort you all to see Minister Lucky Feast.
Minister Lucky Feast.
That is correct. Minister Lucky Feast is the Prime Minister of the Confederation.
Mm-hmm. Malachi's just like trying really hard not to
Are
laugh.
we gonna pass a kitchen on our way to this place? I mean, I could use some nuts to go with my honey. Or like some pocket meat. No, that actually sounds really gross.
Yeah, he just kind of looks. He has a very perplexed look on his face.
Well, no need to think that hard about it. You can just go ahead and lead the way.
Yes, sorry. It's been an afternoon.
Yes. While you are following me, I expect you all on your best behavior. We know how you conclave types like to act when you're out and about, and I just want to make sure you are all aware that there will be no tomfoolery permitted while you're going through the castle.
Of course, sir. There will be no tom or foolery around here.
Not even one shenanigan.
Not even one?
No.
Not a single shenanigan.
Not even a single shenan.
Not even a shenan. Because if you don't shenan once, you can't shenan again.
Draven was genuine, like has been genuine this whole time, and is just like lowering his head more and more.
Maiko again gets real dejected, like she's about to start looking for stuff, and it's like, fine. And she sinks back down in the backpack.
Well, we will be on our best behavior, General. I do appreciate you taking the time to escort us, especially for someone as well decorated as you. You've got a lot of regalia around, which is very impressive.
I have been in the military my entire life. I have seen you the way you conclave types handle yourself, so.
Well, not all conclave members are the same. I am very professional and excited to be here, and hopefully will change your perspective on us.
Mm-hmm. He turns and does a very snappy military turn and says, "Follow me," and then walks very formally out the door and into the main foyer.
I'm gonna turn to Malachi and whisper, I feel like I'm back home. This is just like the orphanage.
You know, you gotta tell me some more stories one of these days. I'm like, I gotta know more.
You all file out of the vestibule and into the Grand Cathedral itself. And it doesn't... I don't know if it surprises you or not, but the two guards who are assigned to the door step into place right behind all of you as you file out the door. The general is already walking, and you kind of have to hurry to catch up to him, with the guards hot on your heels as well. And you are led across the cathedral towards a large stairway that leads up to a second and then a third story of the castle here. You are led down a series of hallways, most of which is still in that same dwarven architecture, and eventually you're led to one stone door among many that you've passed as you've been traveling. Now, as you've been going, you've been seeing quite a lot of military personnel walking the halls in groups of 2s or 3s. They always salute the general as he passes. He salutes them sharply back and then continues to walk. He doesn't really say a whole hell of a lot other than occasionally turning to see whether or not you're following and gives you all a gruff, "Keep up!"
I just stare at the back of his head the whole time. So every time he turns around, he makes direct eye contact with me.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's like that moment where you lock eyes and you give him a big grin and he just scowls at you. Yeah, what's the term from this? Beatnik. Yeah, he probably mutters beatnik at least once as he turns away from you.
Oh yeah.
Please tell me Malachi winks at him at least once.
Oh, for sure. No, as he's turning his head back, I wink. So maybe he caught it, maybe he didn't. But Malachi loves having a bad reputation, so I feel like he's enjoying it.
The general eventually leads you to a door, knocks on it, and you hear a sharp, "Come in," from behind the door. The door is opened, and the general steps inside and then holds the door open for you all to follow, and you see a very large and lavishly decorated office. There are bookshelves lining the walls, filled with books, trophies, pieces of art, different valuable-looking statues, and weapons on stands, all down the two sides of this large office. Towards the back, you can see large stained glass windows behind just a short desk. And a halfling man, sitting behind it, working on a stack of papers on the desk. He has a feather quill in his hand. He's just writing on it. He does not look up at you at all. He just continues to work as you are all just kind of standing there looking about. The general, of course, after a moment of you all just staring, gives you a telling you all to hurry up and go inside.
Step inside.
Go inside, yeah.
There are several chairs in front of the desk that the halfling is sitting behind. Clearly set up for you, as there are in fact 5 of them. The halfling does not look up at all. He continues to write, but he does wave a hand and kind of gives you a beckoning, come on, kind of gesture with one hand as he's writing. The general says, "You will show all due respect to Minister Lucky Feast." At which point...
I try not to laugh again. Lucky Feast?
He scowls at that.
No, I'm keeping it in. I cough instead.
Fair enough. Eventually, you all go and make your way over to the chairs and sit down while still examining and looking over all the various art and valuables that are on display here in this office. The general makes his way out and closes the door behind him. And once that happens, the halfling finally puts his feather quill into the ink pot, sets the papers he is working on aside, looks up at you all for the very first time and folds his hands before placing them down on his desk. Now, as I said, he is a halfling, and the desk is sized for him. So all of you, other than Aeden, are towering over him. You're happy to see, Aeden, that there's actually a chair in your size set up for you. The halfling says, yes. Hello.
And a hello to you. I'm thank you for seeing us, Minister Lucky Feast. This is an honor, and I see that you are very busy, and we will try not to take up too much of your time.
Yes. I believe you have a letter of introduction for me.
Yes, sir, that we do. And I'll hand him the letter, of course.
He takes it out and opens it up and looks it and reads it for a moment before sighing and rolling his eyes. Well then. Yes, well. Queen Strongwaddle has given us very specific instructions when coming to dealings with the Erudite Conclave. She wishes to maintain a good relationship and wishes that the Conclave record the history of our country, new as it is. And so she has granted special liberties. And I suppose you being here means that the Conclave has decided to claim some of those gifts that the Queen has granted you all. This says that you are here to observe and report everything that you see as you explore our kingdom. The Conclave asks that you are given access to the grounds here on the castle, as well as open access to the city as a whole, to view some of our scientific workshops, and as well as the work we are doing to guard our nation. This is an unusual request. However, our queen has, as I said, given her permission to allow you to see certain facilities. The halfling opens up the side of his desk and pulls out a piece of paper from one of the drawers and sets it down on the table. We will be showing you one of our training grounds, one of our laboratories, and we're going to be giving you a tour of the castle itself. I have an itinerary here for these events. They're going to be taking place over the course of 2 days, at which point you will go and report back to your conclave how happy we were to allow you your inspections. Mm-hmm. At which point we hope that we don't have to deal in any more of these little visits.
Of course not. I believe all parties involved want this to be as smooth and as good as possible. Because, like you, we want to maintain the good rapport. And possible later dealings. Correct.
Minister Lucky Feast, if you don't mind me asking, as part of a clarifying question, it seems y'all have had some bad experience with past Conclave members' visits. And, I'm sorry to hear it, but just curious if you'd like to share what happened.
I wouldn't say there's been encounters we need to talk about. It is well known that the Erudite Conclave likes to meddle in the affairs of other nations. If they weren't, why they wouldn't be sending you here to take a look around our city, after all.
Perhaps we just want to report on the technological wonders that y'all have been creating. It's of interest to everyone. I try to flatter.
Mm-hmm. Give me a diplomacy check.
Sure. Here's hoping it doesn't suck. That's an 8. I'm gonna use the coin.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
It's a 13.
That's better.
Not too
It's
bad.
better at least a little bit.
Yeah, better than that. Better than the 8.
But yeah, I feel like we're like media reporters in North Korea. They're like, here, I'm gonna show you the planned stuff.
That's actually not that's actually kind of a fair assessment of what you're experiencing right now. You are a little bit of like that.
Yeah, so he knows that we want information, but I just kind of want to be like, I'm not here to meddle. I'm here to report.
Whether or not the gnome, or not that he's a halfling, whether or not the halfling believes you, he gives you no real outward indication of that. He just kind of raises an eyebrow a little bit and he says, I'm sure. Well, as I said, it's well known how much the Conclave likes to meddle and look into things that don't necessarily involve them, but as our queen has given permission, I will facilitate that and make sure it happens. He takes the piece of paper he had pulled out of his desk and passes it to you, and it does show a list of it's basically an itinerary. You've seen an itinerary before. You know what it is. It's basically you're going to be here at this time, here at this time, here at this time on day 1. It describes how on the first day you're going to tour the castle itself, observe some of the military God, what's the word I'm looking for?
Drills.
Drills, thank you. Some of the military drills that they're going to be doing here in the castle. You're also going to examine one of the workshops they have below the castle here for one of their scientific research. The next day, you're going to be heading to the dock to see some of their new warships that they are developing. You're going to be able to check out their Institute of Higher Learning here in the city, as well as their one of their barracks, and see how the military actually is trained and that sort of thing. So that's day 2 for you.
I'll be looking forward to it. So I guess we start today then, right? Or is it just like we start tomorrow?
Well, this was all put together last minute, so no, we will not be starting today. I have quite a few scheduled meetings that I still have to get through. If I had been informed of your arrival before today, I could have absolutely gotten things squared away, but as this is all rather sudden, you'll have to understand we're gonna do what we can for you.
And
Well,
we
don't worry.
certainly appreciate that. You taking the time for us is definitely appreciated. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. You look like a very busy man. We will get out of your hair shortly.
Give me either a diplomacy or yeah, I'd say diplomacy as well. Give me a diplomacy check.
Come on, Draven.
I just want to see higher than like a
Come on,
12.
I believe
See
in
if
you.
See if you can smooth things over.
Really?
Why?
And I believed in you too.
I'm done. I'm
You
done.
just can't roll
Foundry.
for shit.
I can't. I don't know what it is. I've never been able
It's
to roll.
this guy is basically like he's mad at our boss and taking it out on us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's fine.
I will remind you, you do have 3 hero points.
I don't know if it's necessarily like. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? He's just going to be the same way that he is.
No.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm redeeming one
All right.
there because like I need to see if I can at least roll. This is more for like me than anything else.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Well, you can go ahead and use a hero point to re-roll that diplomacy check.
I will.
And he paid-
Come on, I believe in you, Draven. Don't let me down
I believe.
again. Hey, that's better at least.
It's better,
almost
but it's
the same
still
as
in
I
that
got.
range. I cannot leave the 12 to 14 range. I
Yeah.
live here.
Draven did redeem a hero point too, so at least you paid for
Oh,
that.
yep, I see
Exactly.
that. You did redeem one, so there you go.
Thank you.
That's funny.
But at least it was better.
Warm to us.
It's fine. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, he does definitely seem to be a bit more lukewarm to you all. Yes, well. You will be, you will meet with your guide tomorrow. You can arrive here at the castle in the morning. Your guide will then take you through the castle itself and show you everything, and will then instruct you on where to go for the following day's tours. If you have any other questions, you can speak with them.
All right. Any recommendations on an inn we should stay at?
Oh, you're not staying at the Erudite Conclave itself? I assumed.
Oh yeah, I forgot that they have rooms.
Well, if you're
I don't
you're-
travel much.
if you're looking for an inn, there are plenty here in the city. I would recommend the Blue Heron down near the harbor. You seem like the type that would enjoy that sort of ambiance.
I wonder what he means by that.
Is there any good places of service or worship nearby? I'm unfamiliar, so I want to know where there might be a cathedral for me to go to.
Oh, there are different religious organizations throughout the city. Plenty of new faiths pop up all the time, and Her Majesty the Queen has given free license to any worship service that wishes to take up the space that the Church of the Five left when they abandoned the world of Loroupa during the breaking. So I'm sure you can find something. I'm not particularly religious.
Understandable. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, then we shall get out of your hair, correct? I'm looking around. Anybody? Anybody? Okay, let's go.
No, let's leave.
Okay. The meeting clearly adjourned. The halfling picks up a little handbell and rings it. And the door opposite him opens up, and there you see the same general standing there, looking sour at you all.
It's good to see you again, General. You're looking well. Thank you for waiting.
Don't worry, we're not going to make this one complicated. We're just trying to get to the door.
Then let's make things not complicated.
I agree.
Roy wants to voice act too.
He's doing great.
You all are given a nod of the head from the minister, and he watches as you all file out of his office and into the hallway once again. The general looks you all up and down a little suspiciously, but eventually snaps his fingers and tells you all to follow him. And he leads you out along the same path you took down towards the cathedral itself. He deposits you all at the grand double doors leading out from the castle. And he says to you all, "Report here in the morning. Your guide will be waiting for you. We expect you all on your best behavior."
Certainly, sir. I'm saddened that you will not be our guide. I have grown quite comfortable and to be with you. So, but good luck on your journeys and whatever else you may be doing today.
Right.
I don't even know Tom or his foolery.
He gives you one more scowl before
I met a Tom once.
I just
he just walks away from you all.
Oh, man.
And I think that's actually a good place to pause and take a break. So we will be back in about 10 minutes, folks, and when we return, we are going to find out what our heroes get up to as they're waiting for their tour to begin the following morning. So stay tuned. Howdy, everybody. We are back. And when we last left off, our heroes have been informed that the Queen of the Confederation here is actually going to allow them into some areas to see what they're doing, all in an effort to develop a better relationship between the Confederacy and the Erudite Conclave. So, you have just left Castle Strongwaddle, pushed out, maybe a more accurate phrase, but you have definitely been escorted off the grounds, and now have the city of Nomengrad ahead of you. You all look up into the sky, and you can see that it is, what is it, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. The sun is just starting to dip down, but it is still quite visible. And you've got basically the rest of the day ahead of you. According to the itinerary you've been given, you are to report back to the castle at 9 a.m. sharp. So you've got from now till then to figure out what to do with yourselves. So with that in mind, Pathfinders, what do you want to do?
Well, I spent all my money already.
What did you spend your money on?
Remember, we were buying upgrades. My sword's cool now.
I mean, your sword is always cool, but I suppose now it's cooler.
Yeah, it's a little cooler. I think, honestly, the place where we're likely to get up in into the least amount of trouble is back at the Conclave.
Probably. I think it would be good sometime to go to some of the churches and gather some intel there. But
Well,
yes,
maybe we should do that on our way.
definitely go to the conclave first. It has been a very eventful day.
Well, we're
Very
gonna be
well.
sleeping there tonight, so
Oh, I
You don't need
a
'em.
drink.
do they got drinks at the Conclave?
They
I
better.
don't know. I feel like it's unlikely.
What do you think, Kikiro? What would you like to do?
The name of that tavern mentioned the Blue Heron? 'Cause I like birds.
Well, Kikiro, I don't know if it's a good idea.
I mean, what's the
Go with
worst
you.
that could happen?
I mean, true. If we are on our best behavior, maybe that will make a good impression. If it's, a trap like the other place.
I feel like they may have been sending us to a tavern because it's seedy.
Yeah, or
Which is
because
exactly what I'm looking
well, you don't have to convince me too much. So if you really insist that we should go to the tavern, I might be willing to stop in. But we're all gonna focus, okay? Does this still work, right?
Yes, we are working the seedy tavern.
We're working the tavern.
Absolutely. I will be on my best behavior and not
Me
disappoint
too.
you.
Yeah, and I won't disappoint you. Pinky promise?
Pinky promise.
All right, we pinky promise.
Yeah, we
Fast forward to tomorrow morning. We're like strewn out. All right, I'm down to go.
That sounds about right. So you are heading to the harbor ward, looking for the Blue Heron, which is the name of the tavern that that the minister had given you. He said it was right up your alley, just the perfect place for your group. So how do you plan on finding this this particular tavern? Just gonna wander about, hoping for the best, or do you have anything else in mind?
But we know it's down by the harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we see a individual who looks like they like to party a little bit, I might approach him.
Okay. Give me a perception check. You're just looking around as you're walking, keeping an eye out for anybody that likes to party.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're doing that, can I also do a perception check to see if I can find any... I'm kind of looking for the kids on the street to see if we might see any more.
Draven?
Yeah, go for it.
I want to check
got an
on,
11. I got an 11.
Yeah, with your 11, you see some dude kind of hanging out near an alleyway. He's got a robe on that's all gray. The hood's pulled up. You can see that they're human. They have a big bulbous nose, a mouth filled with rotten, half-gone teeth. And you're like, yeah, this dude looks like he knows how to party.
This dude looks like an alcoholic from way back.
So you approach them and ask them what?
Excuse me, sir.
What?
Where could a guy grab a drink around here? I heard there was a tavern called the Blue Heron.
Oh, the Blue Heron, huh? Oh, yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah, why do you say it like that?
Oh, it's just such a great tavern. Yeah, it's right this way down the alleyway here. I'd be happy to show you.
What is it? Perception? Perception
I-
of guys being a little weirdo? Because there's no insight, right?
Yeah, there's no insight. That would be a society check.
Society?
There's also sense motive.
Sense motive, yeah.
Perception.
That's
Which
perception? That's what I
Mhm.
want.
Go for it.
That's a nat 20. 29.
Oh no, you get creepy vibes off this dude pretty much immediately.
Ugh.
You're like, oh, I know what this is. You're gonna lure us into some back alleyway and try to rob me. That's what's gonna happen here.
Oh, you know what? I actually think I hear my friend My friends hollering at me. They said they found it. But good talking to you, mister.
Are you sure? No, you're going the wrong way. Okay, bye.
While that was going on, I tapped Draven and say, I have a spell that can do that, while I point to the guy's mouth.
What? What?
Oh, I don't know if Draven's there. I got a 23 to see if I saw any of the orphan kids.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's true. With your 23, while you don't see that specific dwarven child, what you do notice is this as you're walking along is there's like a lot of children just hanging out on the streets with no adult supervision whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
They like to hang in small packs together of like 5 or 6 at a time. They move together in groups, heading to different back alleyways or down the streets. Adults seem to really not pay them a whole lot of mind, other than you do notice that like people, as these street urchins are passing, they always grab onto the side of their belt where their money purse is, or the ladies like clutch their jewels and things like that. It's pretty obvious that a lot of the townsfolk that you see moving about the streets view these children as just street urchins, and the looks about them pretty much is a dead giveaway. Most of them are dirty. Their clothes are ratty and tattered. Not all of them have shoes. The children on the streets come in a wide variety of species. Everything from human to gnome to catfolk to dwarven to whatever. It's a very wide assortment of species that are living here in the city, and the urchins are pretty much identical to that. But you would be able to spot that like some of them seem to be running like little small cons.
Mm-hmm.
Child come up asking for coin while another kid tries to sneak around back and steal something. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of the children are panhandlers. The ones who aren't moving in groups just sit along the walls and hold bowls or cups asking for coin from people who pass by, and maybe 1 out of every 15 or 20 actually drop a coin into the bowl of these children. So yeah, wide assortment to choose from here.
Okay. I was really trying to see if I could spot someone that might be... I know they don't have leaders, but some of the like older kids that are kind of quote unquote leaders of these groups.
So the worst ones.
Okay. So yeah, the little bit older ones, you'll always see like the big packs of children. There's always one that's a little bit taller, a little bit older, walking a little bit more confidently, and the rest of the group seems to follow them. It's not difficult to spot with your 23, the leader of different packs of kids.
I'm gonna just go up to one of the packs then.
Okay. So while Malachi is doing that, Draven kind of veers off, and Aeden, are you going to follow Draven since you wanted to talk to them anyway?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm on Draven's leash.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
wherever
forgot.
Draven goes, I go.
I forgot. You're absolutely right. So Aeden is definitely following behind Draven here, as you're basically pulling her along with you as you go veering off to talk to one of these groups.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna walk over to them, whatever they're doing. If they are running like a scam where like they're doing a group, I definitely want to go to kind of one of those that are trying to like pull the card tricks or whatever, that kind of shit. I want to find one of those groups and go to.
Oh, so you're wanting to approach one of the ones that are actually doing cons?
I think so. If they're like, once they kind of free up from people, I'm going to watch them do a con, and then I want to interact when that person's gone.
Okay. So you said specifically cards, and yes, I'm going to say that absolutely there is somebody who's over there doing, the find the queen card shuffling thing. You see a kid there, and another kid is playing it, and he keeps winning, and then an adult comes along and wants to play, and inevitably loses, or wins the first one, wins the second one, then inevitably loses big and is unable to, and then it takes their money and they go wandering about. So you observe that whole thing. What do you do?
Now I'm gonna walk up and just, hey friend, that's a neat little trick, but I find that it's easier to scam more people if you don't all look like you're part of the same group. And so the one that is kind of like helping to scam, like to be like the street person, I'm gonna use the Ring of Minor Arcana to do prestidigitation on them to clean them up, to just make them presentable again.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, you can use your ring and kind of prestidigitate them a little bit, which helps to make them look less dusty, less grimy. You reach out and kind of smooth over the kid's hair a little bit as you're doing this, and the kid's just looking down at you, kind of amazed. Give me... God, I'm trying to think of what this could be. Honestly, I think this is going to be a diplomacy check for you.
Okay.
You're also going to get a +1 circumstance bonus because of prestidigitating them and talking to them as you did.
12.
It's impossible, bro.
It's impossible for me to roll well on that. I swear.
It amazes me. Like, statistically, you
Yeah,
should roll
the
higher at
+8.
some point.
Yeah, it's... I live here.
I just want to see something. Okay, I didn't roll better than you.
Fair.
Anyway, as you're doing this, the kid kind of pushes your hand away and says, "Get off me! What are you doing?
Listen.
Look!
No, it's fine.
If you want to play, you can play. Otherwise, get out of here. Leave me alone."
No, sorry, I'm not very good at introductions. I'm actually just... I want to help. I want to assist. I believe I don't know if they're friends of yours, but... I was able to kind of help her earlier. And I like to assist. I grew up in a very similar predicament as you all, and I want to do what I can to see you all succeed. Do what I can. It's not... I will never not try to help out.
Well, if you really want to help out, why don't you put 5 gold down and see whether or not you can find the queen? Find the lady. She's right here. Do you see her? Here she is. Where did she go? And the kid starts shuffling the cards. Come on, dude. Just 5 gold pieces. You really want to help. That's the best way to help me out.
Neat trick.
Can I see this?
Yeah, you probably caught up to them by
I
now.
want to play.
No.
No.
This is fine.
Oh, you want to play? Okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I want to walk up to these kids and be like, "All right, fucking scram. Get out of here.
No.
Go pull it somewhere else."
Okay,
I wanna play.
You walk up behind Malachi as Aeden's saying, "I want to play. I want to play." And the kid looks at you and's like, what the? And grabs the cards. I don't need this. Grabs the thing he was using as a table, and you see him start walking away along with a couple other kids.
Aeden, why are you trying to get into this? Draven, you should know better.
Malachi,
I
I
mean,
appreciate all that you do.
he said, "Look for the lady."
This...
I can find the lady.
That not your time.
No.
Sorry,
And
my
then-
honey went down the wrong pipe.
Draven, I'm just trying to save you from making another stupid mistake.
And I'm trying to help people. You don't know what kind of information we could also get from those kids. Children are observant. They're everywhere. They get overlooked. I'm just trying to make a friend.
Yeah, it looked like it was going real well. But I'll keep that in mind, Draven.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've driven off the children, and you're in the middle of the road, pretty close to the harbor. What are you doing from here?
Yep.
I'm gonna look around for this damn blue heron. We're gonna waste the whole evening.
Is there a person within leash range?
Oh no.
Probably. I don't see why not. There's people walking up and down the streets all the time.
I wanna tug on their pants or skirt.
Mm-hmm. You can walk up and tug on the skirt of a dwarven woman walking down the street with her dwarven husband. Yeah. Can I help you?
I feel like she's at the end of her leash and just it's her half of her body is being pulled backwards. I'll give you some honey if you can tell us where the Herring Tavern bar place is.
One. Red herring.
It proceeds.
Give me a diplomacy check, but I feel like you have a -1 circumstance bonus to this, because because it's funny.
That is funny.
Well, she is calling it the wrong thing too. So
Blue
And she's
heron,
offering honey.
a red
12.
heron.
that too.
Just flat.
The woman kind of no, I don't need any honey. Red heron, there's no red herring here. That sounds like the kind of guy that would always get accused of things, but actually wasn't responsible for anything.
She knows her motifs.
So are there seeds down by the harbor?
Yeah, there's plenty of bars down by the harbor. You just go that way south and look around. You'll find them. You can throw a stone and find different bars down there.
Oh no, don't say that, because Aiden will start throwing rocks.
Now Aiden is looking for stones.
The woman looks at you like you're smaller than a halfling, on wearing a leash, attached to a giant dude with gray skin with a coffin on his back, or a coffin lid on his back. They're like, nope, and just walk away as fast as they can.
Hey, I know where we're going. We need to throw stones to find it.
Well-
Actually, I think I am pretty tired, so I will hand Aiden duties off to you, Malachi. I believe I will return to the conclave for you all to have fun.
Malachi doesn't say anything, but he looks at Draven wistfully like, is he mad at me? No, I'm looking.
And you hear Maiko just chittering from the backpack.
Oh,
You don't know what she's saying, who she's agreeing with, or anything like that. You just hear her just chittering.
Draven, are you sure?
Oh yeah, I'm partied out. Trust me, it's been a long day.
All right. Well, just remember the pinky promise.
I do. I never break any promises.
All right. I just nod.
Eventually, you do find the blue heron. It takes you a little bit, and you kind of walk up and down the docks for a while looking for this place. You are impressed as you're making your way down the docks. There are a lot of ships docked here. A lot of them. From simple trade vessels to what you assume to be much larger military frigates. They all seem to be very well stocked. They all seem to be at least the military ones, seem to be slightly armored and have what appear to be large arcane cannons attached to the tops of them. These are weapons that have been seen before in Loroupa, just basically large energy engines that shoot forth magic and expend Aether crystals.
One.
It's a good long-term goal, Aeden.
The Blue Heron itself is little more than a shack, to be honest. It's a two-story wooden structure built out of what appears to be leftover and very, very old wooden planks that have been repurposed to build the inn itself. It's very well lit. There's a lot of light coming from like the cracks between the boards, as well as the windows, which are little more than like the round bottoms of bottles that have been cemented in place between wood with plaster. So you can't really see inside, but it definitely gives a little bit of illumination coming out from it. You can hear that there is musicians playing. There is a bard playing the flute, accompanied by drums, and there's a lot of noise coming from the inside of it. The door to the building isn't actually a door. It's just a piece of cloth that's hung up over a portal in the wood leading to the inside. And dangling from a little... just basically an iron rod that's been bolted onto the side of it. There is a piece of wood that's been carved very, very roughly and not very well of the shape of a heron and then painted in blue. But, like, you can tell whoever actually carved the thing has never seen a heron and has no idea what one looks like. So it's just basically a blue bird sitting on a carved out field. And that's really the only indication that tells you that this is the proper place.
I look at Kikiro, and I'm like, seems to be the place.
Does seem to be the place. That is definitely a bird.
I'm not sure if it's a heron, though.
Looks a little more like my cousin Tony.
Oh. Well, you know, Kikiro, I just had a really good idea. Can you hold this for a second? And I hand the leash handle to Kikiro.
Absolutely.
Alright, you take it.
Are we gonna go get seats now?
Yeah, Malachi skitters away as fast as possible into the tavern, because I do not want to be on babysitting duty.
I'm gonna try and get the baby drunk.
Malachi comes back. Malachi comes back. Come again? Alright. Aeden, how old are you respectively to, like, your race, you know?
No idea. I know her age, but respectively to sprites, I do not know. Because I do not know how long they live.
Yeah, I feel like Malachi's trying to determine, like, I imagine Aeden as a child, I don't know if she is.
No, Aeden is grown-ass woman.
Okay. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Alright, I want to go inside. It's bustling.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Go right up to the bar.
Well, as you step into this space, you push past the cloth that serves as a door, and you see an exceptionally dingy and dull-looking bar. Like, the floor is sawdust, and you can see there's clumps of it absorbing liquids that you probably don't want to try and identify. There is a bar. It's just a single long piece of just a long table with stools along one side and a very grumpy-looking orcish woman standing behind it, polishing pewter mugs. And that's really the only thing that actually tells you that this is a bar. Like, there are no tables, there are no chairs other than the stools in front of the bar, which are actually all occupied. And then there's just crowds of people all clumped together, some holding pewter mugs, drinking and chatting. But, like, as you all, like, look about and you scan it, you see a lot of sailors. They're obviously sailors based on the way they're dressed and their mannerisms and the tattoos that cover their arms and bodies. But, like, other than that and the bartender, that's really the only people here. The walls are extremely thin. The bard isn't even on a stage. They're just standing there in one corner, playing the flute while the other dude's on the drums. So the music is going, but most people are just ignoring it and drinking and standing about in groups. No one really seems to look at the door as you all file inside, but, like, as you're looking about, like, this has got to be the cheapest, most run-down bar you've ever been in.
Did I hear cheap?
How,
Oh, yeah.
Just how cheap? You tell me how drunk can I get for a couple silver pieces?
Perfect.
Pretty damn drunk.
All right, first round's on me.
Let's go.
You go heading over to the bar and you try to get the bartender's attention, but, like, for the first couple of minutes, they, like, almost purposely ignoring you and seem to be more interested in filling drinks for the regulars that are there. Eventually, you do get their attention. A pitcher of beer costs 2 copper pieces.
Hell yeah. All right, I get a pitcher of beer for the 3 of us.
You get a pitcher of beer, which is enough to fill 5 tankards without problem. You pour it, you hand it to everybody. Like, there's not enough room at the bar to stand there. You're kind of having to kind of push around people and get into a space where all of you can stand together. And then you pour your beers and everybody takes an experimental sip. And dear God, it is sour. It is bitter. It's warm. Yeah, it's probably the worst beer you've ever had in your life.
All right, let's make a bet.
Just like Mommy used to serve.
We should make a bet. Who can chug their beer the fastest?
I feel like Aeden's at a really bad disadvantage.
Yeah, but listen, I don't have a lot to throw in, so...
Loser buys the next round.
You want to drink more of this?
Yes.
I mean, if you drink enough of it, you'll forget how bad it tastes.
I'm worried I might forget something else. Alright.
Okay, we're surrounded by nice men of the sea.
Yeah, we'll definitely be safe in this environment.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Alright.
Can I lift these? Can I even lift this to drink it?
Probably not. It's probably about half of your size, and you're, like, struggling with it.
Can I get a straw? No, she probably just, like, jumps in. She's
You, like,
drinking
half-
it like head first.
You just set it down on the floor and start
3,
going into
2, 1, go!
Fortitude saving throw, all of you.
Alright.
Malachi, or not Malachi, Maiko, did you actually climb out and turn into your humanoid form, or are you, like, just chilling in the backpack?
Oh no! I'm maintaining the element of surprise for as long as I possibly can. I mean, like, I know I popped out the one time, but I'm still gonna try to use that element of surprise as much as I can when I need it. I'm still in the backpack.
Asleep, and you're in his backpack next to the bed.
No. So, like, if we're in a private room, I would have come out and probably, I probably would have curled up somewhere in fox form to sleep, honestly. Smaller, take up less space.
Yeah, I don't know where Draven actually went, but that image was funny to me.
Yeah, Draven, what are you up to right now?
I mean, I wasn't kidding. I was probably gonna head back to the Conclave, do some thinking. So, pretty anticlimactic, but like a little disappointed with everything. So he's being a little sad.
Well, Draven, give me. Oh God, what's a good roll for this? Because you're in an unfamiliar city, you left the Conclave, but how well have you been actually tracking your movement since then? God, what would this be? I think a survival check to try to remember how to get back to the Conclave.
Well, I'm untrained in it, but I was gonna say, is there any way like I can assist? Because I'd still be kind of peeking out the backpack, and I can kind of tap him on the shoulder, to be like, oh, I think we came this way or that way or whatever.
So, are you asleep in the backpack or not?
No, I'm not asleep in the backpack. I was saying, like, if we had gone back to the room, I would have been curled up somewhere asleep. But, like, if we're still moving around and walking, I'm kind of keeping an eye out on, like, kind of peeking out of the backpack a little bit. But, sorry, I thought he had already said he was back at the Conclave. I thought he had already got back to the Conclave.
Yeah, not quite yet. So, I guess, yes, you could assist with this. You give me a survival check first.
Ooh, not bad, 18.
Yeah, that can give +1 circumstance bonus.
$14.
Yeah, 14's not too bad. You kind of wander about a little bit, and once or twice you almost get lost, but then Maiko, in her fox form, kind of taps you on the shoulder and points to a specific street, and so you start weaving your way down towards the Conclave. You actually get pretty close, and you can see that old beige building in the distance, but then something makes you stop. As you're walking down the street, you see a small shadow step out from an alleyway. And it takes you a moment to recognize him, but it's the same dwarven child. The one you saw from the market that you helped run off and escape. They're standing there in the entrance to one particular alleyway.
Are they like looking at me, like trying to get my attention, or are they just kind of standing there?
They definitely stepped out as you're approaching and gives you a little bit of a wave.
I'll go to them.
Turning and stepping in their direction makes the child turn and walk down back into the alleyway.
I'll follow.
Maiko kind of chitters from the backpack. She's kind of a little leery.
It's...
You follow the child back into the alleyway. The child is walking down the center of the road. It's not difficult to follow them. They turn behind a building and kind of hurry down a pathway a little bit. You follow and make your way to that corner, and you turn and look, and there you see the child come skipping up to an individual that's standing there leaning against a wall. This individual is dressed kind of simply, breeches, a simple ruffled shirt. They have a rapier on their side, but They have gloves on their hands, and they're kind of just leaving it sit there, sitting on the rapier as you approach. The dwarven child goes running up directly to them and kind of tugs on their pants leg and points to you. And the individual steps up and gets off the wall, and you can see that they are actually a catfolk individual. They have black fur, a little bit of a white muzzle going from the lips down their chin and onto the neck. They seem to be dressed in leather armor, or not leather armor. They're wearing shirt and breeches. I'm sorry, but they do have a very short cloak that just goes down their shoulders a little bit. But apart from that, they don't seem to be armored at all. They just have the rapier there. This individual stands up and kind of stretches a little bit, and the dwarf child takes a stance behind them. You notice that the person has an eye patch over one eye. The other eye is a bright green color. And the catfolk places a hand on the rapier and looks at you as you're approaching. What do you do?
Good evening, friend. It's nice to meet you. I hope you are doing well this fine evening.
The catfolk does a very long look you up and down with his one good eye before saying, and a good evening to you as well.
I see that my friend made it safely. I'm glad to see you're doing okay.
Friend, huh? Well, based on what I hear, friend might be an accurate phrase. I hear you helped this little one out of a little bit of a pickle when they were looking for some breakfast.
Of course. It was my honor.
Maybe so. But that's got me wondering. What's your angle there, guy?
No angle. I see a lot of myself in the child there, so I just couldn't stand by while I saw an injustice. A child should never go hungry, and shouldn't have to scavenge for their food like that, and certainly shouldn't be chased by grown adults for just trying to survive.
Make for me another diplomacy check.
Oh.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Oh,
Yes!
look at that! Nice.
Yes.
Finally!
Finally. It's happened.
They do exist.
Wow.
The catfolk kind of smiles a little bit, showing the sharpness of his teeth, and he says, I'm more of the opinion that people should be self-reliant and able to do what they need to do and get away. But I appreciate the sentiment. And I appreciate what you did to help this little one get away from people who would probably cut a finger off if they caught her. The dwarf child kind of peeks out from behind the catfolk's leg and gives you a big grin. Well, it's nice to know there's some decent people, even among the erudite conclave.
I've heard that a lot, so it's I'm not quite sure what the Erudite Conclave has done here, but I certainly hope to make a better impression than them.
Oh, here? They've been too afraid to leave their walls since the breaking. No, they're just, well known to be meddlers, and this country doesn't tend to like meddlers or people who go against the societal norms, if you get my meaning.
Absolutely. And what do you prefer, my friend?
Oh, me? Oh, a bit of anarchy. It's always fun.
No, I actually agree. Sometimes to fix things, you need to break it.
Oh, yeah. In this place, there's a lot of stuff that needs breaking.
Well,
You watch yourself out there.
I will certainly do my best, and you as well. I don't believe I caught your name, or what would be a better word to call you by?
Let's ride on that nat 20 for a little bit. The cat folk says, you can call me Shadows. My little friend here is Tegot.
Spelling?
Tegot.
Perfect.
Tegot here is gonna be keeping an eye out for you. You did her a favor, which means I owe you one. If you ever need a favor of similar value, look for a little Tegot here.
I will certainly do so. I look forward to our partnership, little Tegot, and I'll hold out a hand to, shake her.
Oh yeah, and she'll reach out and it's like the hand goes around your finger. She's a dwarf. Yeah. It's tiny.
I'm gonna do that the old thing where oh, so strong. Oh, such a powerful grip.
Absolutely.
The little one's got moxie. I like it.
Well, you keep your nose clean while you're here.
I will do my best. Unfortunately, I cannot help my my friends. They are free spirits, if you will. But it's fun.
You hear grumbling from the backpack from Maiko.
And I see that that River Dragon 82 just redeemed some hero points, so you all are even up on hero and villain points.
Heck yes.
Well, Shadows, it has been very fortuitous for us to meet, and I hope that if you ever need anything as well, you'll come find us. I would like to do as much as I can to assist.
Well, keep that in mind. You might want to get back home. Streets get dangerous after dark.
I can take care of myself, but I do appreciate the word of warning.
The catfolk steps aside and gives you a nod and turns and makes their way out from the alley, with the dwarven child following in pretty close on their heels. They kind of turn and give you a wave as they're moving, and eventually the two of them do disappear into the shadows.
Yeah, I'm absolutely waving back, and then once they're gone, I will head back out the way that I came. Oh. I can't believe I rolled well. Sorry, I'm still I gotta take that in.
Meanwhile,
I'm taking a screenshot of that.
Oh.
At the bar, Malachi is super drunk and hanging on to Kikiro and going, "Do you think Draven's mad at me? Do you think he's upset with me?" Because I don't know, like, it was got weird vibes, right? Also, who won? Who won our roll-off?
Who won the roll-off?
Asking the real questions.
9, 13, 9.
Yeah,
42 saves.
I think I
So-
saw a seed.
Oh, I hope not.
I like that we said it was a seedy bar, and Aeden's like, there's seeds everywhere.
so many seeds. So many seeds. And I'm not gonna lie, like, all of you, that beer is skunky and gross, and it hits you kind of like a truck. None of you beat the save there, and after like 2 pitchers of beer, all of you are feeling a very, very heavy buzz.
Kikiro, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
We probably ought to. But we haven't made friends with any sailors yet.
No, we've just been chatting and drinking.
Hold on. I got this.
What are you doing?
You know what I'm doing.
Oh, Aeden.
I got my honey and I got some beer. I'm just gonna go up to a random group of sailors and just start singing a shanty about honey and beer.
Kikiro, you yank that leash
Please.
right now.
Get a nat 20. I want to see it.
I believe in them. They're cooking.
Yeah.
Where does it go?
Make for me a performance check, Aeden. Take a -1 circumstance penalty because you are drunk. Or at least tipsy. Probably more than tipsy, given that it's Aeden.
Yeah,
That's about right.
we need to go. We gotta
You
leave.
start screeching. Like what you think is a sea shanty, but it's basically like, remember in The Little Mermaid when Scuttle starts to sing for Ariel and Eric in the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
I would like to take a spoonful of honey and just put it in Aiden's mouth and go, what's this filthy street urchin doing in here? Don't worry, guys, I'll handle it.
Now, I
just hand you
imagine
the leash.
as you're saying that, you're like pushing Aeden down and like rolling her in the sawdust so she gets all dirty.
Just roll her.
Oh.
Give me
No.
a deception check.
No problem.
You can take a +1 circumstance bonus to this.
People are going to think you're the orphan kids on the street and avoid you.
That's a 15.
Yeah, with your 15, you're just like, sorry, the street urchin is here. I'm gonna get rid of him.
And I drag her outside with the leash. And then hopefully Kikiro follows. And then once we're outside, I'm like, you remember the way back?
No more. Try again tomorrow.
I just think we should probably leave before something bad happens, you know. But it was good hanging out with you.
Absolutely. And so, all of you make your way back to the Erudite Conclave. I just want to see how well you're able to find the place again. Give me a survival check, somebody. You're going to take a -1 penalty here.
I have a +2.
I've got a +4.
And somebody, can I help?
I got a big old 0. I should do the roll.
Can I attempt to help Kikiro?
That was a resounding no.
To mitigate the -1.
Let's see if you can help. But you're going to get a -1 penalty on this roll as well because you are drunk.
This one. Listen, I
So-
function better.
Survival -1.
What if I smoke a cigarette first?
It ain't gonna help.
You gotta roll to see if you can light
That's
the
a
cigarette.
19.
19,
No way.
yeah. You are able to assist Kikiro trying to find the conclave by giving helpful directions.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if Kikiro can figure this out.
I believe. That's not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, it ain't too bad.
It's not as bad as it could have been, but an 11, yeah. You're going to end up on the completely opposite side of town before you realize that, oh shit, we've been going the wrong direction. And by the time you get back to the conclave, it is late into the evening. You are all exhausted by this point, and you heading over to the conclave building itself, you end up all having to sleep outside.
We're cowboy camping.
Perfect.
And that's where we're going to find our heroes in about 2 weeks. The three of them sleeping outside the conclave building just on the
They're locked
streets.
up.
While Draven and Maiko actually got a good night's rest.
Hell yeah.
Aiden will be waking up wondering why she's got a pocket full of rocks and seeds.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Rock seeds. All covered in
normally
honey.
wake up with that?
Covered in sawdust.
Aiden had a wild night.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be
We
a
all
little...
bonded.
Yeah, you're going to be... You all bonded and are going to be a little hungover in the morning, or at least 3 of you will be, as you go make your way back to the castle Strongwaddle to have your tour. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait
The
to find
psychic
out.
has a hangover.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny is, didn't Ichabod get a tour of a place where he was supposed to hide his weapons and he got really drunk right beforehand too? So
Uh-huh.
it's in the family. It's in my genes to do this.
It is. It definitely is.
Like literally the same thing.
Well, we're going to find out what our heroes discover here in Nomengard now that they're about to go on their tour. It should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to find out what chaos they get into there. Well, thank you to everyone who watched this evening. We very much appreciate you hanging out with us as we explore a brand new city. Come back in 2 weeks to find out what our heroes discover now that they actually get to go on their tours. As always, I like to go around the table and have everybody tell us who they are and where we can find them on the internet. And Malachi, you did the recap, so why don't you go first?
Hello. My name is Briana. I play Malachi Sykes here every other Monday. You can find me on Instagram at Pink Chic Geek Art. And that's about it. Usually I'd plug something, but I didn't think about it. So, my bad.
Well, good job. Good job. Kikiro, you're up next.
Right on. I'm Braden or Delioth. You can find me here every other Monday playing Kikiro. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter or Blue Sky at Delioth Infinite.
Heck yeah. Dyto, Aeden, you're next.
Hello, I'm Dyto. I was Aiden tonight. You can find me here every other Monday playing Aeden, bathing in beer, finding seeds, rolling in sawdust. And then on alternating Wednesdays, I'll be on Curse of Strahd, where I play a much more level-headed character that's not quite as chaotic. I said quite.
Draven, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm John. I played Draven tonight. Always a blast. Love my boy. But you can find me here every other Monday and Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, I am in the Magi Knights campaign where I play Salem. Yeah, things are getting really heated over there, so come check it out as well. But you can find me at Instagram at CreativePanda88 or at Blue Sky at johnpoart.bluesky.social. So.
Right on. Maiko, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Brandie. I played Maiko tonight. Mostly just, chilling in a backpack as foxes do. You can find me here every other Monday playing Maiko, and then the opposite Wednesdays playing Veed on Curse of Strahd. Otherwise, I'm on the socials as at RiverDragon82, and that's River with a Y because, I can't do things the easy way.
Absolutely. Well, as always, I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master here on the Random Rhapsody Network. You can find me right here every Monday and Wednesday playing crazy games with crazy people, having a lot of fun doing it. It's always a blast. So definitely come check us out here every Monday and Wednesday. You can also find me on the socials as at Scruffy Wanderer. If it's a social media platform, you can look on there and probably find me. So just go look. So, on behalf of everyone here in Æther-Tech Wars and everyone in the Random Rhapsody crew, I just want to say thank you, folks. It's been a delight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, especially now, don't forget to fight the machine. And good night.
Yes, absolutely fight that machine.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.